Hey guys, what's up? Welcome. Happy Tuesday. I hope you're having an amazing day. For today, we're in this background. This is usually where I do like first impressions and get ready with me videos. I have a really exciting one for you today, let me tell you. Also, nails are done. I have no idea how to use my fingers, so if this video is gonna be awkward vibes, I'm fully aware. For today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys a first impressions on the brand new Natasha Denona Zendo eyeshadow palette. So excited about this. If you guys have been watching me for any length of time, you know Natasha Denona is like, I love her. So yeah, like in general, she seems like a really cool person, and then also her products in general as well are amazing, especially her eyeshadow palettes. You know how I always say her formula cannot be beat, and honestly that is so true. She has the yummiest deliciousness formula ever. So creamy, easy to build up. Heaven, I'll tell you that. So this palette right here is the newest addition to her $65 pan palette. It retails for $65 and there are 15 shades included. Okay, so here's what we're working with in regards to the metallics. Really beautiful. These are with 2 swipe swatches each. Deliciousness, super buttery, very creamy. I feel like even with 1 swipe, it probably would have looked the same, but these are two swipe swatches each. Loving the tones. We get a little bit of everything. Blues, neutral shades like a gold, peachy tone colors. Now in regards to the matte, there are 8 in total. Very smooth, very buttery, creamy for a matte, I would say. Builds up well. No kick up really. I would say across the board they all seem like they have the same matte formula. Like there isn't one that's better than the other, more that's one pigmented or not, you know. Just really, I love it. It's really nice. I am going to share with you guys comparisons between this palette and the bronze palette, the glam palette. I have pretty much all of her $65 pan palettes, so I'll share that towards I'll share that towards the end with you guys. But I will have this linked down below. It's available on Natasha Denona's website, Sephora site, and I want to say Beautylish as well if you guys want to pick it up for yourself. But let's get started with the look. I'm so thrilled about this one, and let's see what we can come up with. I'm gonna first go in with some lip balm. This right here is from Pharmacy. Not my favorite formula. I'd say it's more like waxier, but it's still pretty hydrating and it's good. Not my favorite though. Okay, so the first shade I'm gonna go in with is this matte right here. It's a beautiful camely type of color and it's called Balance. Also, I'm gonna be using the Morphe and Jaclyn Hill JH32 brush. Okay, so with this shade, I'm pretty much gonna set my entire lids with this. It's gonna add a little bit of color, I realized, but I'm also gonna kind of work it into like the crease part as well, so we can get a little bit of like dimension going for us. Really nice. It, you know, for a light shade, I would say it's actually pretty pigmented, which I like because you can kind of go light or like deep with that. And then of course we're gonna go in with the same shade for this side of the eye. I cannot wait to do more looks with this one, by the way. I'm gonna do like a hot one for today, but I think this is gonna be my new little baby for the next little while. Next up, we're gonna go in with this shade right over here. This is a beautiful like khaki gray green type of color, and this is a matte as well. And then with this one, I'm gonna go in with the Morphe M514. It's fluffy, but not like overly fluffy, so it kind of still allows you to get that more detailed work without being like all over the place kind of thing. So Zeal is a pretty army-ish green type of color. Honestly, a little bit scared to use that one, but it's different and I feel like it's gonna look pretty cool, you know? So with this one, I'm gonna just take a little bit just because I feel like you can go probably very wrong with this very fast, and very lightly gonna start on the outer part of the eye and kind of like blend it inwards. And so I went on a date last night. Let's have a little bit of that discussion. It was actually nice, but he was a nice person and everything. But I also, whoa, this shade is yum. So he seemed like a nice guy, and we had somewhat pretty good conversations, I would say. But the only thing is, I'm like only 1% attracted to him. Like really not attracted at all. I tried, just not feeling it. You know what I mean? I just kind of feel like for myself, I want to, you know, give myself a little bit more of a chance to see what else is out there. I never really feel like I want to settle for anyone or feel like, hey, like I'm getting older, let me just take what I can get. Like I never want to feel that way. And like, you know, you're potentially going to be living with this person for the rest of your life. So you want to make sure you're making the right decision, you know? Okay, this shade is delish, let me tell you. I want to go in a little bit more to build up a drop. But yeah, I mean, it's not such a drastic story. I've had really crazy stories, I would say. My sister-in-law is like, how do you have all these crazy stories? I'm like, to be honest with you, I have no idea. she's like, you should make videos on them. And I actually wanted to ask you guys if you would want to see it. I did mention it here and there, like how I wanted to do like the series of like dates that went down the drain. And I guess my whole vibe for it is really to, you know, kind of get more of like a personal vibe with you guys. And even if you're not single necessarily, I kind of feel like it could be a good way to relate on with different things going on in your personal life, you know? So, you know what I mean? I feel like whenever I do a look, it's like I go dramatic or I go home. You know, there's no light looks with me. I also would love to try to do 3 looks 1 palette. A lot of you guys had asked me if I could. I'm gonna go with the same shade, same vibe for this eye. A little bit hard for me to talk and do this, but the way my face works, the way my eyes work is that I can't put makeup on, take it off, put makeup on again, take it off, put makeup on again for different looks. Like it has to be 3 different days kind of thing, which I could probably do. But then at that point, I'm like, does anyone really care anymore to do like a 3 looks 1 palette, you know? Because I feel like with these kind of videos, it's like people want to see it pronto style. Let me know what you think. Anyway, back to the series. So I started seeing a life coach and I was discussing this with her and I'm like, I just don't want people to kind of get the wrong idea of like, oh, like you seem so picky or like, who do you think you are? I wouldn't consider myself as someone who, I don't know, is super picky or makes big deals out of everything, or you know what I mean? I just want to find my man for me. So I had asked her what her opinion was on this, and she was like, I think it would be really great, you know, for, of course, you guys to connect like with your audience. And I'm like, that's really what I want. I really want to feel the vibe. I want to hear your opinion. I want to just, you know, share experiences. I think it could be cool and fun and also like relatable, you know? I think for a deep greenish khaki type of color, this blended out really nicely. I loved how it also built up. I did have to spend a few extra moments, but that's like with any deep shade. I'm finding that like it was just easy to work with, because a lot of the time with these kind of shades, I'll be like, you know, looks like someone punched me in my face kind of thing. But I don't think it looks like someone punched me in the face, you know? Unless it does, let me know. The next shade I'm gonna go in with is this beautiful color here. It's a stunning blue, like deeper blue in Equilibrium. I'm gonna put this all over the lids. And with that, I'm gonna be using this rougher flat brush. And this specifically is in 02. I'm gonna make the brush a little bit wet with the water that I have here. I don't wanna get up and get the mist. And we're gonna go straight in with the shade. Normally I like to go in with my fingers, but there's no way I'll ever be able to get up in there with these hands. And then I'm gonna, whoa-ho-ho. Hello, deliciousness. I would say that wetting your brush would kick it up a notch. I don't think you necessarily need to with Natasha's formula, but I feel like it does help intensify it a little bit more. And then I feel like it kind of feels good on the eye. Like it has that cooling effect, even though it's actually been freezing here. Hence like the cardigan vibe, but it's really nice. There was a teeny baby drop of fallout, really not much. I'm gonna go back in with the M514 brush with the Zeal shade, so that greenish color, just to kind of deepen it up a little bit more on the outer part and connect the shades, you know, just cause I kind of feel like they're not really connecting here. And I don't wanna put the blue like way there. What is this? What is this English? I have no idea. A lot of you guys actually wanted me to do like a tutorial in Hebrew, because if you guys didn't know, it is my first language. So, you know, I was thinking and I would love to do it, but then I was like, I don't know how to speak like that in a way where I know all these like makeup-y words in Hebrew. Like I know how to speak regularly, like, you know, to my mother or my sister, or like talk like everyday kind of talk, but like to like speak about a tutorial and kind of break the words down like that, we would be here for 10 years. I think Natasha Denona also speaks Hebrew. When I asked her, she said, yeah. I don't think it's her first language, but I thought it was so cute. You know what I mean? For the lower lash line, I'm gonna go ahead and use this beautiful red matte. This is in the shade of Viger. And then with that, I'm gonna use the Moda Smudger. That's what it's called. It's the 402 brush. It's like a tightly packed brush, which I think is perfect for the lower lash line. Usually for the lower lash line, I kind of like to go in with something different, just so I'm also using a decent amount of the shades. I've never really done like a red like this under here. You know what I mean? It's nice though. I think it's like a nice contrast. But yeah, definitely pretty dramatic vibe for sure. Anyway, so back to that series. I think it would be cool, kind of like dates that went down the drain kind of thing. I would do kind of like mukbang style. I mean, I like eating, so you know, we can eat and talk. Just, you know, throw in something different there for you. For liner, I'm going to go in with the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil in Perversion. For mascara, I'm going to pop on the Essence Lash Princess Mascara. This right here is the one like with the green lettering. It's the best drugstore mascara ever. You can see here I'm applying it on my lashes. When I went on the date yesterday, actually, this is what I was wearing, and it's perfect. It really is so lengthening and full and just very just like really good stuff, I'll have to say. Here's what everything looks like once mascara is on. I think I'm gonna put on lashes. We'll see how it works with these guys right over here. I'm looking in the palette and I see that there really isn't any like a light highlighted type of shade, which I would have loved. I usually like when I can highlight my brow bone and inner corner with something. If you have a deeper skin tone, I feel like maybe the shade Luster would be a good one, but if you have a light skin tone, there really isn't anything light enough here for that. We'll use a highlighter from a different palette. I'm gonna hop into the Ofra Glow little highlighter palette, so you get 5 in 1 kind of thing. I'm gonna use the shade Blissful. If you do have my palette with Ofra, this shade is in there. Inner corner vibes as well. Just for a second there. This is not the best brush for this. I'm just gonna use the ColourPop small brush here to put it in there. Yeah, I feel like this is just like the finishing touch to my makeup. Okay. I would like to see if I have crap in my teeth. I'm gonna go ahead and put on lashes and I'll be with you guys in a few. So here is what the finished look looks like. I'm gonna go ahead and do lips. Hopefully the lashes are not falling off, by the way, because it was really hard to do with these. I'm gonna go in with the Ofra Liquid Lipstick in Sao Paulo and the KKW lip liner in 2.5. And I've actually been really enjoying the KKW lip liners. They're pretty solid stuff. As for my opinion on this palette based on using it for the first time today, it really didn't disappoint. If you're familiar with the Natasha Denona formula, this right here is pretty much on par with all of that. Easy to use, easy to build up, no fuss, really no fallout. Just sometimes if you pick up a lot on the brush, it can kind of like fall, but you can feel really like the quality with these shadows. Like you can tell. I think that this palette does have a lot of versatility, especially since there are greens and blues and like red shades, golds, orangey tone shades, just really a lot to offer in this one. I cannot wait to use this more and more to see what other looks I could come up with. But if this was your color story, if this is something that you find unique, that you find pretty, that you find special, I feel like it could be like everyday appropriate, but you can also kind of spice things up if you want to go that extra mile. I love it. I'm not biased, I'm not. But her formula is really, really very, very nice. Okay, now let me share with you guys just some comparisons between like this palette and the other palettes that I have, like between the bigger ones and the small little ones. Okay, so here just an overview of what most of her $65 palettes look like compared to each other. And then we have the mini Zendo right there. So this right here is the bigger Zendo palette. This right here is a little one. I can kind of see some form of a resemblance in a way, but I also feel like they're kind of both very different. Maybe sisters, maybe not so much. But I think that they could be really good companion palettes. I'll probably use them together next time to see what I can come up with. But I would say the Zendo palette is probably the closest to the bronze palette. Like there are, I would say, similar tones. I want to say these look more like sisters than the mini Zendo palette. But here you guys can see pretty much what we're working with. Here we have the Sunrise palette. Again, the Zendo palette here. Also with this one, I think like the reds, like we have like red here, are somewhat similar, but still a very different vibe. Next, we have the Glam palette. So this one right here is definitely more of like a silvery, cool tone palette. I would say compared to each other, this has more of a warmer toned vibe, but I would say this is like neutral warm, not super, super warm type of shades, you know. And then here we have the Love palette and then Zendo. These I would say are pretty different. The Love palette has definitely more pinks and purples, probably a little bit more cooler in tone, and this one right here, of course, is just like the
orangey golds, blues, and greens.
Okay, so that is pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Definitely 100% let me know what you guys think of this palette, if you're going to pick it up, if you're going to go ahead and skip out on it. I love hearing your feedback because, you know, I want to hear what you have to say, you know what I mean? Also, let me know about like the whole dates that went down the drain kind of vibe thing. If you're like, you're feeling it, or if you're like, I don't really care. Keep me posted, let me know. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. I love you so much. Thanks for being so special all the time. You guys know I always say this, but I really appreciate you all so much. You're all so sweet, I have to say. I feel honored, you know what I mean? Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.